to protect home court, and this is the finals. Dramatic.
Middleton three-pointer. It's good! More Middleton magic! Booker fires a three. Bang! Devin Booker from downtown! Knocked away and stolen by Holiday! And a pinnacle ball throws it down! What a turnaround!
We know what the deal is. It's one game away from being the NBA champ, but the job is not done.
The job might not be done, but the Bucks have stolen home court advantage away from the Suns. Are they in the driver's seat right now? That trophy sure looks shiny. Speaking of driver's seats, we've got Devin Booker and Chris Middleton joining the show today. Big stars coming out. And speaking of big stars, Giannis turning into finals for the ages. Can he keep it up in a closeout situation? We're also counting down the best alley-oops in playoff history today, so, buckle up. The jump starts now. I'm Rachel Nichols. I'm here with Mr. Richard Jefferson, who has been to the NBA Finals 4 times as a player and now is working on his media reps of how many times in the finals.
3.
Kendrick Perkins, 5 times in the finals as an NBA player. And Kendrick, you decided to go with the more understated jewelry today, but Richard's decided to come and show off. What you got there, Richard?
Yeah, show the world, RJ. What's wrong? What's the problem?
I just don't like you. I just wake up in the morning and I just like,
that's perfectly fine.
It's a separate issue. But look at that.
Show us the other.
Come on, man.
oh, my bad.
You don't wear it. So, I mean, how many diamonds are on that thing?
I counted, and at least 1.
Okay. You don't wear something that flashy and then be embarrassed about showing it off.
It's not even that. It's just a subtle thing. I don't like to talk about it. Perk does. I asked Perk. I was like, hey, Perk, man, it's the finals, close out. You want to bring out rings? He's like, okay, cool. He doesn't show up with it. Thanks, Perk.
Well, we will see if this turns out to be a closing game of the NBA Finals. But first, let's revisit what happened in Game 5. Man, guys, what a game. The Suns dominating the first quarter. They jumped up to a 16-point lead, but the Bucks storming back eventually won it after that clutch steal you've seen so many times in the last 48 hours. Drew Holiday and the alley-oop to Giannis. The Bucks now have won 3 straight in these finals. They are just the 4th team in finals history to win 3 straight after trailing 2-0. So, Perk, how do the Suns set about recovering after that tough last-second loss in Game 5?
Well, obviously they have to get this win on the road, right? So you want to come out and get out to a good start like they did in Game 5. You want to take the crowd, the energy out of the arena. Mm-hmm. But secondly, the Suns got to get back to being disciplined, right? They've been doing too many dumb things. Like, you look at Devin Booker with his fouls. You look at CP3 with his turnovers. Even Jay Crowder on one play late in the fourth quarter where he had a foul, where he fouled Chris Middleton on the jump shot. Like, they have to stay away from those things. And they have to find a way for DeAndre Ayton to impose his will, right? And like, he had 20 and 10, and I was talking with Richard off air, and it was just like, it wasn't impactful. Mm-hmm. Like he has to impose his will. And when I'm watching him play defense on Giannis, it's like he's playing defense in college. Both hands up, trying to slide his feet, not trying to get in foul trouble. You have to make it difficult. Like, don't let him catch the ball so easy. Try mixing it up, fronting them, get physical with them. Make the refs call that call. I think, they know that it's going to be a physical game, and usually when it gets to the finals, the referees let you battle it out, as we've seen some of the fouls that were questionable, right, with Devin Booker.
Well, look, I think the Suns can recover, but it's more about what the Suns beating themselves. Like, they hadn't really done that all postseason. And, you look at Game 4 and just a blown opportunity in the NBA Finals. You might get one extra chance if you blow an opportunity, but ultimately I think the Suns just have to slow down a little bit, figure out what they want to do. But if they can't use the exact same formula that they had been using all postseason, that is move the ball, 0.5 seconds, everyone touching, everyone contributing, and then in the fourth quarter, we're going to space, we're going to have guys knock down shots, and then Chris Paul is going to get to his elbow. Chris Paul is going to dominate. Then Devin Booker is going to hit big shots. If they can't get back to that formula, and the reason why, and the last thing I'll say is the reason why people were picking Phoenix, some of it was the Giannis injury, but a lot of it had to do with this. The Phoenix Suns played the best brand of basketball, but the Milwaukee Bucks are probably a better basketball team, as in more talent. But the Milwaukee Bucks are playing very, very good. So when the more talented team is playing well, it becomes, 3 straight.
I'm not sure, Mr. Suns in 6, you want to be bringing up pre-finals predictions.
It's fine. It's fine. Again, my predictions in the beginning that I've stuck with were all based off Giannis's health and the way the Suns have been playing. Well, they're not playing the same way, especially since Game 3 started, than they were the whole postseason. So when the facts change, so do my opinions.
There you go. Well, look, part of it is playing well, but playing well for long enough, right? Because we saw in Game 4, the Suns were up by 9 in the fourth quarter and could not hang on. We saw, of course, what happened in Game 5. They were up by 16. Now, that was early in the game, and being up by double digits doesn't mean what it used to in the NBA. But still, clearly, they were in position to hold on. They had the ball at the end of the game. They had the advantage on the scoreboard, and they still lost it. And therefore, the Bucks claimed that game. And Perk, I got to follow up with you a little bit, right? Because if you're DeAndre Ayton, if you're Devin Booker, you said that he's got to be more aggressive and physical, but he also can't get into foul trouble. How do you walk that line as a big man? Because he did have that experience in Game 3 where him being on the bench is part of the reason why they had so many problems.
Well, if you watch the game and you look at some of Giannis' post touches, his catches, right, they're so easy. Like, they're able just to lob it in there. He's catching in one hand. Like, he's not making the impact. Like, he's not doing his work early. He's waiting for Giannis to catch the ball down. All of a sudden, he's playing on his heels. Instead of him being aggressive, meeting Giannis early, not letting Giannis get to his spot. And then that college defense, right? That defensive stance, holding two hands in the air, trying to move your feet. You're already at a disadvantage guarding Giannis Antetokounmpo, especially when he gets to sidestepping and Euroing and scooping the ball up under you for layups. Like, you're dead bird, tall grass.
We just saw Giannis, by the way. That was from practice today.
The dead bird, tall grass.
I mean, you just let it register in that dome head of yours for a minute, and then you can understand.
Well, Richard's thinking, I was just going to note that Giannis had ice packs on both knees when you just saw him at practice today, but that is common, and we see a lot of guys do that in the off days. Richard's going to keep thinking.
I have no idea what that means. I'm like dead bird and tall grass.
Just let it sit.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to move on to Team US.
2006 Heat and 1977 Blazers as the only teams to win 4 straight finals games after losing the first 2 games of the series. If the Bucks win the finals, they will join this year's Clippers as the only teams in playoff history to win multiple series after trailing 2-0 in a single postseason. And we talked about it moments ago, Chris Paul hoping to avoid becoming the first player to lose 4 best-of-7 series in which his team led 2-0. The only other player with 3 such losses is his former teammate, Blake Griffin. As we welcome back Richard Jefferson, so much at stake, including, one could argue, Paul's considerable legacy. And he's meant so much to the game, Richard, on the floor, his leadership off the floor, but is potentially in jeopardy of ending that singular career without a championship. How does the team alleviate any pressure on him tomorrow night?
Well, it's not even really about alleviating pressure on Chris Paul. It's about Chris Paul probably putting some pressure on the Milwaukee Bucks. You know, people make it seem like, oh, what do the Suns have to do? What do the Suns have to do? Well, you know, Chris Paul is a large portion of this. There's been questions about his health. They've been questioned about, he just doesn't look the same. Like that hand or whatever it is isn't putting him in the same spot. Well, at the end of the day, they're going to need contributions from unexpected people. Mikal Bridges is going to have a big game. You're going to need to have a big game from Jay Crowder. You're going to need DeAndre Ayton, because if you look at who has maxed out, like, we can't get any more from Devin Booker. Let's just call it. Like, he is playing at an elite level. And it's very similar to Giannis, back-to-back 40-point games. But that's not what the difference was for the Bucks. The difference for the Bucks was how Drew Holiday played, especially on the offensive end last game. How Chris Middleton has played the last few games. So it wasn't like you can't get any more from Giannis. You can't get any more from Devin Booker. You need more from your next set of stars. And I think that's what the Phoenix Suns need. If Mikal Bridges can come out and give you a 20-plus point performance, Jay Crowder can play great defense and knock down threes, or if DeAndre Ayton can give you a monster 25 and 16 night, then you can see the Phoenix Suns pulling out a win in Game 6.
And maybe not CP3 bringing up the ball every single time. He just, he looks worn out. They're picking him up early. All right, Richard, thanks so much. We'll see. Suns haven't lost 4 straight games all season long. And coming up here on SportsCenter, reports from both teams, while Giannis thinks Game 6 will be a big mental test, and he thinks they're ready for it.